Hello and welcome to Doordarshan News. I am Sidhant Sibal. In next half an hour, I will take you to a journey from Delhi to London via Dreamliner, doubted to be the machine which can change the face of aviation industry forever. But how will it change? Our journey begins now.
With high hopes and expectations, I make my steps towards one of the most advanced commercial airliners, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner.
I'm pretty much decked up and my journey has just begun. I'm very excited. Let's hope this Dreamliner journey will be a historic one. So the Maharaja beckons us, we are entering the airplane, the Dreamliner, and look at it. I've taken my seats. The seats are really very comfortable, and if you look around, it's very spacious.
The plane from inside looks more spacious and comfortable. The aisles have space enough to walk easily, and while people take their seats, the crew guides them. By now, ministers and officials start entering.
So the Civil Aviation Minister himself boarding the plane, sir. Any first thoughts before boarding the...
Welcome abroad.
Okay.
And we get ready for the takeoff. Takeoff towards London. But why such hullabaloo over the Dreamliner? Well, that's because Air India's new turnaround plan hinges upon it. But like all good stories, there were some anxious moments too. Let's revisit January 2013. The aircraft suffered from early in-service problems, notably fires on board related to its lithium-ion batteries. Soon, America's Federal Aviation Administration issued an emergency airworthiness directive that grounded all 787s in the US. Soon, Europe's European Aviation Safety Agency, Japan's Transport Ministry, India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation, and Chile's DGAC followed suit and grounded the Dreamliners in their jurisdictions. Was the dream over? Well, in fact, no. Boeing has since worked to develop new battery housing to prevent a repeat of the incidents. The Dream flew again in mid-May. That was 15th of May, almost 4 months after the planes were grounded due to safety concerns. Chairman of Air India Rohit Nandan, in a press briefing that month, gave a thumbs up to the Dreamliner. He also said Air India is open to selling all 8 of its Boeing 777 passenger aircrafts and is seeking Boeing's help in talks with potential buyers.
The plan is that we would be replacing all the 777LR flights with 787. And as you know, it has been talked about in the press extensively that the turnaround plan of Air India is largely based on the 787 operations. We treat that as our workhorse, and we were very happy with its operations before it was grounded, and we are very hopeful and optimistic that the good days that we saw with the 787s would be now fully restored.
Nandan said that all technical snags in Dreamliners have been mended, and the Dreamliner also got clearance from the apex civil aviation body in India.
Now the technical issues have been taken care of. The FAA has given its approval. The local regulator of India, the DGCA, has also given its approval. We have got all the clearances that we required from whatever bodies were required. Our pilots are trained, and therefore we have started with the flights today.
The Dreamliner's superior economic performance is expected to give a boost to Air India's turnaround plan. The Dreamliner is low on operating cost and maintenance cost. It consumes 15% less fuel than current aircrafts in same category. Air India has 6 Dreamliners and has ordered 21 more. Optimistic about aircraft's performance, civil aviation experts Harshvardhan said that it would prove to be a market leader and a game changer.
I think this setback should be now forgotten like a bad dream, and we should look forward to a better and upcoming operations of this aircraft. This aircraft, there is no doubt, is going to be the market leader in its category, and this will change the way the world travels.
Soon world over, Dreamliners flew again. United Continental resumed its Boeing 787 Dreamliner service from its Houston base. Japan's All Nippon Airways carried out its first commercial flight with Dreamliner fleet after more than 4 months of suspension. Today, 9 airlines have at least one Dreamliner in their fleet. These airlines are Japan's All Nippon Airways and Japan Airlines, Ethiopia's Ethiopian Airlines, India's Air India, Chile's LAN Airlines, America's United Airlines, Qatar Airways, Poland's Lot Polish Airlines, and China's China Southern Airlines. And now back from that short story, inside the Dreamliner, people are enjoying themselves, but what makes it apart from rest of the aircrafts? First, it's spacious. Wide cabins of the Dreamliner provide a spacious environment for passengers. In economy class, aisles are 21 inches wide. That's more than 2 inches wider than a typical 2-aisle airplane. Same goes for business class, where aisles are 25 inches. It has a wide and comfortable seats. Windows on 787s are largest of any airplane flying today. Passenger in any seat of the airplane enjoys a view to the horizon. The window shades aboard the 787 are dramatically different from those on other commercial jetliners. Windows are dimmable. Electrochromatic window shades, not physical shades, allow passengers to dim the windows. From windows to seats, let's go to the luggage bins.
Well, much has been said about the spaciousness of this aircraft. Let's check out the spaciousness. This is the upper portion where people can keep their luggage, and well, it's very spacious and very open.
Overall architecture of 787 welcomes the passenger on board. The tall, dramatically lit entryways overhead creates a sense of the sky, reinforcing the fact that passengers have arrived in a new space. The cabin air also has a better quality due to an innovative purification method known as gaseous filtration. And now to my favorite part, the in-house entertainment system. One has a choice of 50 movies, 130 TV shows, 60 music CDs, 10 PC games, and much more.
Well, it's been 4 hours since I left New Delhi. Right now I'm over Tehran, the capital city of Iran, and my flight will now go towards Caspian Sea, then to Russian Federation, to Europe, and finally to London. 4 hours time I'll be in London. Meanwhile, the entertainment system in on board the plane is extremely nice. They have a number of nice movies, English, Hindi, and also regional movies from Telugu, Kannada, Punjabi.
So after checking out the features and the internal dynamics of the Dreamliner, it's time to meet the man of the moment, Civil Aviation Minister Ajit Singh. And I started asking him about the Dreamliner itself. I'm on board Air India's airline AL115 from Delhi to London. It's a Dreamliner, and with me is the man of the moment, the Civil Aviation Minister Ajit Singh. Sir, welcome to Doordarshan News. So Dreamliner, so my first question associated with it, how can Dreamliner change the fortune for our national carrier, Air India?
In a sense, you're right. Dreamliner is just one of the components of our plan to make Air India profitable. There are many other problems with them earlier. The kind number of officers they have, number of unproductive assets they have, number of employees they have, the load factor, and all kind unprofitable routes. So, this Dreamliner is a very important component of their plan to become profitable, because for technologically it's a new generation airplanes. Fuel accounts to about 50% of operating cost. And we expect the Air India will be saving, wherever they fly Dreamliner, about 20% saving in fuel costs.
So, but initially we saw there were some hiccups. For 4 months, Dreamliner was grounded across the world.
Yes.
Don't you share that apprehension?
See, anytime new technology comes, you go back to the 320s and everything. Anytime there is a technological innovation, some hiccups are there. That's expected.
So now coming to the larger sector, the aviation sector. So just enumerate 3 big things which your ministry has done in last 4 years.
See, first thing we did is, whether it's 4 years or 5 years or so, big international standard airports. Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Kochi. Second thing is that we allowed private airlines to fly to the neighboring countries or anywhere wherever we have bilaterals. Earlier, only Air India was mostly flying there. That's why now, see, in last year and a half only, we have allotted 81,000 seats to neighboring countries, to the Indian carriers. And we are almost equivalent to the foreign carriers as far as the number of seats that are allotted. Second thing is, we have a lot of problems with DGCA in the sense this sector has grown so fast that DGCA requires a lot of new technical people and all that, and going through that government procedure, hiring them and training them and the salary scales and all that is very cumbersome process. So we're planning to make DGCA, call it Civil Aviation Authority, give them financial autonomy, which means they'll not be dependent on government for their budget.
Sir, my next question will be on the national carrier. When do you think that the Maharaja will regain its past glory?
Well, if you look at it, young man, the days of Maharajas are gone. From that point of view, it's a very tough competitive environment. All over the world, you see the national carriers are not there anymore. but here government has a big stake in Air India, and we have also made it very clear that government is not in a position and will not provide any more subsidy or anything. Whatever money we are providing now also depends on their meeting the milestones. Every 3 months, the oversight committee with finance and all kind of members looks at the results.
So, but you must have heard about this, that Emirates have now become the de facto airlines national carrier of the country. How did this happen in a sense?
See, we didn't have the facilities. Where were the big airports? You are right. Not only Emirates. If you look Singapore, if you look at Lufthansa, if you look at Hong Kong Airlines, even other Gulf countries, because we didn't have that hub thing. And what is more, our international flight, basically, there were a lot of problems. And now we are facing that problem again because Kingfisher was flying abroad. It's no longer flying. That leaves only two companies which fly abroad, which is Jet and the Air India. And now, in last year or so, the domestic passengers have declined slightly, but international traffic is growing. So how to meet that demand? That's the question. Air India doesn't have the capacity right now. It's growing now a little bit, but still, it doesn't fly to Australia, Europe, USA, many places. Russia, it doesn't fly at all. African continent, it doesn't fly. So that's why these airlines, they develop their hubs, their airports, they're flying to all those places. So that's why they have grown.
So
But now that we have these airports, and we recently cabinet cleared the hub policy also, and now that Jet will be flying from 23 places in India. We are their hub abroad to many destinations in the world. So international, and then it will provide the Jet Etihad deal should provide more competition also for international passengers especially. So things are slowly improving.
So my last question is, fuel contributes a big portion of input cost on airlines.
Yes.
Many believe if the taxation structure of the country is improved, this could help the airlines, especially by introduction of GST. What do you have to say on that?
Did you say about ATF you're talking?
ATF, ATF.
ATF, yes, our costs are about 20% higher than neighboring countries, and then to that you add the taxes charged by different states up to almost 30% some places. And ATF accounts for 50% of the operating cost. Now we have tried and we've written to the state governments, we have talked to them to cut down the taxes, but they are all suffering from fiscal problems. So last year we allowed the airlines to import the ATF directly, because once they import for their own use, they won't have to pay these VAT taxes and all that. But see, that requires, there were a lot of problems came up because you require infrastructure.
So do you think the introduction of GST could improve the situation, the GST goods and service tax?
I'm saying if they agree, if the states agree to cut down the taxes, that will improve things a lot.
Okay. That was the aviation business. Ajit Singh, that is listening to Doordarshan News on board Dreamliner from Delhi to London. So the minister had much to say about the Dreamliner and the aviation sector too. But what had people to say about the Dreamliner?
So my trip is all about to come to an end. I'm about to reach London in about 2 hours time. So far so good. The food was nice, the ambience was nice, entertainment was nice. Let's talk to my co-passengers. How are they feeling? Sir, how are you feeling? The comfort level in the Dreamliner?
First time Dreamliner feels very comfortable going.
Traveling in this Dreamliner is definitely very charming, comfortable and nice.
Because the seats are more comfortable. That's what I've noticed. Even the service is very good as well.
The Dreamliner is considered a game changer in the aviation industry, primarily because it is very fuel efficient. It is made of composite material, which makes the plane very light, and even at very high altitudes, it makes you feel very comfortable, unlike other planes. With me is a very small family, and lunch is being served. Let's ask them how is the lunch. Ma'am, बताइए खाना कैसा है यहाँ?
हाँ, खाना बहुत बढ़िया है, बच्चों के लिए सूटेबल है। तो हमने जो हमारी जर्नी है वो अमृतसर से हीथ्रो एयरपोर्ट तक है, तो अमृतसर में भी स्टाफ ने बहुत हेल्प करी, एक्स्ट्रा हेल्प।
Let's ask other passengers how are they feeling. Ma'am, I presume you are a regular traveler on the on Air India.
No, sometime after 4 years.
So ma'am, probably you're traveling on a Dreamliner for the first time. How are you feeling?
It's okay, better now.
Better than
Before
rest of
better.
the.
Yeah, better.
So all in all, positive comments from every co-passenger till now I have talked about.
We also thought, why not ask the pilots about their experience?
I'm inside the cockpit of the Dreamliner. Lots of buttons. This makes the big machine go everywhere. With me is Captain Mahesh Gulabani. Sir, how does it feel to run this beautiful machine?
See, it's the latest machine available in the market, and we are very proud and happy to have it.
Okay, sir. And sir, your view, sir?
It's a beautiful machine. It's the latest technology India could have. It's a good one.
So even I'm feeling very great to be inside this the cockpit of this dream machine.
And after a heavy lunch, everyone seated themselves comfortably as Dreamliner took its turns towards London. The distance between Delhi and London is 8,000 kilometers, and the time taken by Dreamliner is 7.5 hours. But I wonder, what impact does the plane has on the environment? Well, it scores well there too. Since it uses 15% less fuel, it is definitely less cruel on the environment. Plus, it also produces 20% less emissions than today's similarly sized airplanes. Soon my plane entered the British airspace. Time comes. London was awaiting the Dreamliner. This flight was special for another reason. It was the year 1948. Air India took its first flight from Delhi to London, and history was created. 65 years later, history was repeated again. This time, Air India's new Dreamliner flew from Delhi to London.
It's been 65 years since the first Delhi-London Air India plane flew. Today, 65 years later, things have changed. Today, 3 flights, both from Mumbai and Delhi, connect both the cities with London. This shows how important this route is for India and Britain both.
And in no time, we arrived in London. The landing was smooth. The plane was given a water salute. Remember, this landing completes Air India's 65th year of operations in London. Passengers, including me, were given a truly Indian welcome.
And so finally my journey came to an end. Dreamliner landed from Delhi to London. But this was historic. Historic because on 9th of June 1948, the first flight from Delhi to London flew. And today marks that event, the 65th anniversary of that event. So clearly, double advantage for me.
So finally I reached London and was getting ready to visit the historical city. Do give us your precious feedback at teamddbiz@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.